Imagine your dog acting strange, showing signs you've never seen before. What do? Recognizing an emergency in your canine companion is like solving a puzzle. You know your dog best, their habits, their quirks, their normal behavior. Any deviation from this norm could be a sign of distress or illness. For instance, if your typically energetic pup suddenly becomes lethargic, or your always hungry hound turns away from their favorite treats, it's time for you to pay close attention. Some signs of distress are more obvious than others. Difficulty breathing, for example, can be easily spotted. Your dog might gasp for air, their tongue might turn blue, or they might make strange noises. This is a clear sign that they need help immediately. On the other hand, some signs are subtler, like sudden behavioral changes. Is your usually friendly dog suddenly aggressive? Is your independent dog suddenly clingy? These changes in behavior could be a sign of discomfort or pain and should not be ignored. Vomiting is another common sign of distress. While it might not necessarily indicate an emergency, persistent vomiting or vomiting accompanied by other symptoms like lethargy or loss of appetite could be a sign of a serious issue. A sudden change in your dog's mobility could also signal an emergency. If your dog is struggling to walk, is limping, or is unable to stand, it's time to seek help. Remember, these are just some of the signs that could indicate an emergency. The key is to always be observant and aware. Trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. And when you're in doubt, it's always better to err on the side of caution. The bond between you and your dog is unique and special. You have the ability to recognize when something is off. So use this intuition, paired with knowledge, to identify when your dog is in distress. Knowing your dog's normal behavior can save their life. Recognizing an emergency is the first step. So, keep your eyes open, your mind alert, and your heart in tune with your furry friend. Together you can weather any storm that comes your way. Emergencies require immediate action. Are you equipped with the basic first aid knowledge? Let's dive into the basics of first aid for our furry friends. When it comes to emergencies, remember, the golden rule is to stay calm. Panic won't help anyone, least of all your dog. First up, choking. If your dog is pawing at its mouth, drooling excessively, or making choking sounds, it could be choking. Do not put your hand in their mouth to remove the blockage. Instead, try the Heimlich maneuver. Stand behind your dog, place your hands at the base of their rib cage, and apply firm upward pressure. Next, cuts and wounds. If your dog has a cut, clean the wound with warm water and apply a clean cloth or bandage. Apply gentle pressure to stop bleeding. If the bleeding doesn't stop after a few minutes, seek professional help immediately. Heat stroke is another common emergency. Dogs can't sweat like humans, making them more susceptible to heat stroke. Symptoms include excessive panting, drooling, and lethargy. If you suspect your dog is suffering from heat stroke, move them to a cool area and provide fresh water. You can also use a damp towel to cool them down. But remember, never use ice or cold water as it can lead to shock. In all these situations, it's crucial to remember that first aid is just that, the first step. It's meant to stabilize your dog and buy you some time. It's not a replacement for professional veterinary care. After applying first aid, always take your dog to a vet for a thorough checkup. They can assess the severity of the situation and provide appropriate treatment. Finally, remember that prevention is better than cure. Regular checkups, a healthy diet, and plenty of exercise can go a long way in preventing emergencies. First aid can make all the difference. But remember, it's a stopgap, not a substitute for professional care. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, your furry friend needs expert help. We all want to be the heroes for our dogs, but there are instances when it's important to call in the professionals. Let's talk about some situations where veterinary intervention is crucial. It's important to remember that your role as a pet parent is to stabilize and comfort your dog until you can get them to a vet. You're not expected to diagnose and treat serious conditions at home. One instance when a trip to the vet is necessary is if your dog has been hit by a car, fallen from a significant height, or suffered any other major trauma. Even if they seem fine, internal injuries could be lurking below the surface. Another situation requiring professional help is if your dog has ingested something potentially toxic. This could be anything from certain foods like chocolate or grapes, to household items such as cleaning products or certain plants. If you suspect your dog has eaten something they shouldn't have, get them to a vet as fast as you can. Uncontrolled bleeding, difficulty breathing, seizures, and extreme lethargy are also signs that your dog needs immediate veterinary attention. It's also crucial to seek professional help if your dog is showing signs of extreme pain, such as whining, shaking, or changes in behavior. In addition, if your dog has a persistent or high fever, is vomiting or has diarrhea for more than 24 hours, or is refusing to eat or drink, it's time to consult a vet. Finally, remember that sudden changes in your dog's behavior or appearance can also be a sign of a serious problem. If your dog just isn't acting like themselves, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Stress on the importance of timely consultation with a vet cannot be overemphasized. The sooner a vet can diagnose and begin treatment, the better the outcome is likely to be. When in doubt, reach out to a professional. Your vet can provide the necessary care your dog needs. Remember, you are the first line of defense for your dog's health, but you're not in this alone. Trust your instincts and don't hesitate to seek help when it's needed. It's always better to be safe than sorry when it comes to the well-being of our furry friends. Emergencies are unpredictable, but you can control how prepared you are. When it comes to our canine companions, a little preparation can go a long way. Imagine this. It's a sunny Saturday afternoon, and you're out in the park with your dog. Suddenly they start to choke on something they've picked up. With an emergency kit and a plan in place, you can respond immediately, potentially saving your furry friend's life. So, what should you include in your dog emergency kit? Think of it as a canine first aid box. Start with bandages. These are essential for treating minor injuries like cuts or scrapes. Then add tweezers, perfect for removing splinters or ticks. A blanket is also a good idea. It can keep your dog warm in case of shock and can be used as a makeshift stretcher if needed. Next, consider medicines. Hydrogen peroxide can induce vomiting if your dog has ingested something harmful, but always consult with a vet before administering. An antiseptic is useful for cleaning wounds, and a pet-friendly pain reliever can be handy in case of injury. However, never give your dog medication intended for humans without consulting a vet. Don't forget to include a muzzle. Even the gentlest dog might bite when in pain. And of course, always have fresh water in a bowl, especially during hot weather or if your dog is ill. But an emergency kit isn't complete without vital information. Make sure to have the contact details of your regular vet and the nearest 24-hour emergency veterinary clinic. It's also wise to include any important medical history of your dog, like allergies or chronic conditions. Finally, let's talk about the action plan. Practice makes perfect. Familiarize yourself with basic first aid procedures. Know what to do in case of choking, heat stroke, or if your dog is hit by a car. Being prepared isn't just about having the right tools, it's about knowing how to use them. Preparation can be the difference between panic and calm during an emergency. Equip yourself today. Real people, real situations, real heroes. Let's hear some success stories. Meet Sarah from Ohio, who, during a late-night stroll, saw her golden retriever Max begin to choke on a small toy. Thanks to her quick thinking and the Heimlich maneuver she'd learned, she was able to dislodge the toy and save Max's life. Then there's Jake from California. His Labrador Bella cut her paw on a sharp rock during a hike. Jake, having packed a doggy first aid kit, cleaned the wound, applied antiseptic, and bandaged Bella's paw, preventing further injury and infection. In Illinois, Emma's dachshund, Daisy, showed signs of heat stroke after a long summer day outdoors. Emma, recognizing the symptoms, quickly moved Daisy to a cooler area, provided her with plenty of water and cooled her down with wet towels. Daisy made a full recovery, all thanks to Emma's swift actions. And let's not forget about Tom from Texas. His boxer Rocky ingested something toxic. Tom, knowing the signs of poisoning, rushed Rocky to the vet immediately. The prompt professional care Rocky received saved his life. These are everyday people who turned into heroes for their furry friends. They recognized the signs of distress, took appropriate action, and most importantly, they were prepared. Their stories serve as a reminder of the significant difference we can make in our dogs' lives. These stories prove that your actions can save your dog's life. Be the hero your dog sees in you. In a crisis, every second counts. Your actions can make all the difference. Remember, recognizing emergencies is the first step, followed by applying first aid. But don't forget, professional help is crucial in certain situations. Being prepared with an emergency kit and a plan can save precious time. It's all about turning your love for your dog into action. For the love of your dog, be prepared. Share this video to help other dog lovers. Subscribe for more life-saving tips.